Well, good afternoon, fellow YouTube viewers. Belch90 for another YouTube video. It isn't Doctor Who related today. I'm just talking about the Australian National Broadband Network, and I've finally upgraded to it. So far, it's been all right for me. My first initial experiences with it, like I haven't had it drop out like it has affected other people around the country, but I have noticed I'm not getting the speed that I have asked for. I don't blame the provider. It's not the provider fault. I blame the National Broadband Network because I think it's crap that you ask for something and people are going to ask for the speed that you say it's available to them, but you're not getting that speed. It feels like I'm only on the 50 megs a second plan because you'll see my speeds pop up. Hopefully, if I get this right on the screen. My ping is 12 milliseconds. My download is 44.48 megabytes per second. My upload is 22.31 megabytes per second. And people are gonna complain and say, "Oh, that's fast. It's faster than what I've got." But the thing is, guys, it's not what I've asked for. I asked for 100 megs a second, and that's what I expect to get. Because I've got to pay for it. I expect to be getting that speed. So, is it worth to get the NBN? Well, before you do look at getting the NBN, I do recommend doing research first. Make sure what speed you're looking at, because the lowest is 12 megabytes download per second, and then 1 megabyte upload per second. I recommend you stay away from that plan, that speed, because you're pretty much pushing that with your ADSL 2+, and stay away from that. Because, yeah, not really worth it if you ask me. But I noticed the NBN is a lot cheaper than ADSL. But if people don't want fast speeds, I do recommend the 25 meg download. I don't know I forget what the upload is, but a lot of people go with that one. The guy offered that to me, and I'm not interested. I live with my brother, who plays the Xbox online game modes regularly. I do YouTube uploads regularly with my Doctor Who series and other different YouTube videos. So I would expect I want a decent, reliable connection, because the videos I've been giving you guys are not been up to quality. And I do apologise for that. That is due from my current internet connection cannot cope with uploading those videos in the high demand. I'm going to try and see if I can I'm hopefully trying to push out into 1080p now. Because before I believe it was in 720p and even lower. Because what I had to do was make the videos in Final Cut Pro. I'd do the editing, make the intro, blah blah blah, and then once the video has been compressed and rendered to the desktop on the computer, I then have to run a program called Handbrake, which you can get for free for download for Windows and Mac, and I believe Linux as well, which does like compression on the movie file, because mine comes downloaded as MOV format. Then it gets the footage, cuts it, chops it down, so it makes it like 720 to maybe even, I think it might be 480p. No, I think it's 720 because the Final Cut does in 1080p, and chops it down. It's not in the greatest quality as it could be, because as you know, my network cannot cope with that, and I do apologise, and I'm trying to. That's the reason why I got this NBN, because what's happening in the country of Australia right now, I'm going to talk about different NBN networks you can get and what I recommend to you guys. You got FTTN, which is fibre to the node, which is what's currently going on with the Liberal Party, which was what their plan was. So you have, sort of hard to explain. If I can find a picture, I'll upload that. What it is you've got the exchange. So you got exchange. You got your node boxes. You would see them around your neighbourhood, little green box, where the fibre runs to that. Then it still uses the old copper, which feeds into a pillar. Consider your pillar, right, if you're an IT person, you'd know this. It's like a switchboard. Like you switch for your Ethernet ports for your computer. It's much like a giant switch which hooks the home phone and the Ethernet or the internet network into different houses around the neighbourhood, so people can get access to landline and national broadband network. For example, my nan and pop, they rely on their home phone quite a lot. So if the NBN crashes on them at any time, I find it was a stupid design too to have the home phone run through the fucking. I mean, sorry from a swearing, run through the router, because that is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. Because if the router dies, your home phone's going to be useless to use. I'm with Dodo. You can laugh and say it's a rip-off, but for me, Dodo have been really good to me. Very friendly providers. I do recommend Dodo to people. Or I do highly recommend Dodo because I've had no problems with them whatsoever. Speed's been pretty decent. I don't blame them for this situation because it is mainly relied on the national broadband network, and I know Telstra owns majority of that, so you are going to get faster speeds with Telstra. But before I say you got to go and get Telstra, I want to tell you package deals with, depending, if you're a downloader like me, I highly suggest you stay away from Telstra. Just because, not to bag them out or anything, just because they just don't have any unlimited deals. I keep looking on their websites, I can't find any unlimited, and if there is, it's going to probably cost you 12 arms and 12 legs to get. So, I'm with Dodo. I'm on the $99.90 plan, which includes free unlimited calls to mobiles, to other landlines overseas as well, I believe. And also I've got unlimited internet with the 100 megs download and 40 megs upload. Because I wanted to get it because I do upload YouTube videos, like I've said. My brother uses it for the Xbox, and I do some downloading. And once I get my servers up and going, they're going to be using the network like crazy to send files from my main computer, which is my iMac, to my server, which is an old computer running Ubuntu 16.4 long server support, and which will store on my files, and it's going to run off 6 terabytes. And once I get it set up, configured right, I'd run in a RAID, and yeah. But I'm getting off topic. What do I recommend in the NBN? Like I've said before, I've got mixed bag of feelings, like I've been talking about. I do have issues with the speed. Speed is not very reliable, like they've said. 100 megs. I'm not pulling fucking nowhere near 100 megs. I'm telling you that now. There's people that get the speed that they want and have issues. And I do recommend, if you own your own house, please get the FTTP, which is a fibre to the premises. Because fibre is going to be more reliable than the copper wiring. Fibre is going to be faster, more reliable, and the infrastructure is going to last longer. So you can live that house for 20 years and you're still going to have decent network. And the speed, when you got to upgrade the speeds over time, you're going to be getting gigabits a second of speed going through that house. But with fibre to the node, right, it's the liberal way. I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but it is the liberal way, and it's cheap. They think it's cheap up front, but it's going to cost more down the track because the copper is going to wear out. It disintegrates over time because it wears out. Copper, you always see the Telstra people out replacing all the copper lines because they just wear out. They last about 10 years and they're gone. So you're going to be spending more money on infrastructure for the copper wiring than anything. You would have been better off running, and it would have pissed people off, and it's going to take longer, but you're going to get the full kabang service with Labor's idea was the full fibre down to the premises, which you can still get, but they want you to fork out the money for it. Because once look, when I get my own house, I'm definitely going to be getting fibre to the premise, that's for sure. And I'll be getting double the speed. Because I know a few mates that are getting the speed that they want. So far, I've not got the speed I wanted, and I feel if I don't get the speed that I want, I don't feel like I should have to pay for that because I'm not getting what I've asked. I've been on the phone with Dodo. They're trying to rectify the issue, and I can't really say it's 100% Dodo's fault. It's more the NBN itself, because it's a dodgy network. Okay, and for people who don't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to say it in simple terms like this. Picture the fibre, the F3, right? You're travelling at 110 kilometres, and during time, as the population grows, it's going to get busier every day, because people are going to be using the network, and internet is becoming more and more affordable each day. Back 20 years ago when we had dial-up, it was expensive. Only the businessmen could afford it. But now the internet's becoming more affordable. More people are getting on every day. It's going to get busier. At 110, you're travelling constantly at that speed, say. But then you've got little turn-offs off the F3 to different locations. Speed slows down. So it's on a bottleneck. You're going to go to the single lane, which is, say, for example, is the copper. You're going to get slower speeds, and the copper is what's going to bottlenecking this network. And it's not the fibre. It's not Labor's fault. It's that Liberal want to think they knew what they were doing. They have no idea what the hell they're doing. This FTTN, really, I know a lot of people in the rentals are going to get the FTTN because that's all they can get, because I don't think they would want to fork out money for the infrastructure of the phone line. I'm telling you, if you can afford to get the fibre to the premises, I do highly recommend you get the fibre to the premises, because you're going to get faster speeds, it's going to be more reliable, and you're going to be a lot happier in the long run. And the infrastructure is not there. It's just terrible. They didn't think about this. They just go, oh, we're going to shove it in now. You're going to get what you get, and that's it. And I feel 100 megs is still bloody slow to this day. But it's as fast as we can get. And I live in a rental property, so I don't want to fork out money to get fibre to the premises. It's going to be too much hard work, to tell you the truth. But the shitty thing is, in 18 months' time, because I live in Singleton, in 18 months' time, ADSL2 is going to be pretty much gone from history. They're phasing ADSL2 out now because it is an old infrastructure. But the thing is, ADSL2 is still more reliable than the national broadband network, and that's so sad, isn't it? They've had it out for so long, and it's so unreliable. It's pissing a lot of people off because they have to use the 4G on their phones to get stuff done. This internet is so bloody important, especially out in rural areas. The internet is just like the linking stone to any business, because I can tell you, business wouldn't survive without the internet, especially hospitals. Say, for example, Singleton Hospital has to send a patient out to John Hunter. They're going to need the network to transfer the information to the computer on the other side. So if you don't have that, yeah, it's history. So that's I'm going to end this video now, because I think I've rambled on too long ago. That's my opinion on the National Broadband Network. Would I recommend getting in it? Yes, you're going to have to get it whether you like it or not, but do your research before you get it. Know what you're getting. Talk to people that do know about the ambient, that are IT, tech savvy. Get their input. Get what's good for you, and I do highly recommend, do not get the cheapest one. If you're not a heavy downloader or anything like that, go for the mid-range, the 25 to 50 megs a second download, because that'll be the perfect speed for you guys. But if you are a gamer downloader, you want to get the 100. And even faster. And if you own your house, I'd suggest getting fibre to the premises. So, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.